In this week's parsha, we have the story, the very unfortunate story of the Chet HaEgel. Hashem gets very, very angry. Hashem wants to destroy the Yidden. And the pasuk says, "Vayechal Moshe es pnei Hashem elikov." Moshe starts pleading with Hashem, and he says, "Lama Hashem yechra apcha ba'amecha." Why would you get so angry at these people that you took out of Mitzrayim, etc.? On these words, Rashi says, "Klum miskani elo chacham b'chacham gibor b'gibor." Usually, who gets jealous? A chacham, a wise person, would only get jealous of another wise person. A strong person would only get jealous of another strong person. So why, Hashem, would you be getting so upset and so angry at this Egel? That's what Rashi seems to be saying. Now, simply, what Rashi is coming to explain is what does Moshe Rabbeinu mean with the question, Lama Hashem yechra apcha, why are you getting angry? I mean, seemingly, they did such a terrible, terrible Aveira. Of course Hashem is angry. And that's why Moshe Rabbeinu is claiming and complaining and saying, if you're jealous of this Egel, usually it's only a Chacham, a wise person, is jealous of another wise person, a strong person of another strong person. Why are you making a deal out of this Egel? The Rebbe asks, on the Pasuk Anoichi Hashem Elokecha, in the Aseres HaDibros, Rashi explains to us why it says, Anoichi Hashem Elokecha, I am your God in the singular, and Lo yeh lecha, you don't have in the singular again, Elokim acherim. This was in order to give Moshe Rabbeinu a way out when it comes to the story of the Egel. He should be able to say to Hashem exactly these words, Lama Hashem yechra, why are you getting angry at the people when you never even told them not to serve Avodah Zarah? You said the Aseres HaDibros to me personally. So if Rashi had explained already what Moshe Rabbeinu means with these words, why are you getting angry? Why does Rashi over here need a new pshat of what Moshe Rabbeinu is asking Hashem? The Rebbe says, especially if we look at that first thing that Moshe Rabbeinu said, that Rashi tells us in the Aseres HaDibros, that Moshe Rabbeinu could have the claim that you never even commanded the Yidden. So based on that, Hashem really shouldn't be punishing the Yidden at all. There shouldn't even be any claim against the Yidden. Whereas the way Rashi explains it over here, it's only that Hashem shouldn't be so angry at the Yidden. The Rebbe says we also need to understand, it sounds like what we said before, that Moshe Rabbeinu is saying, why are you being jealous of this Egel? Now seemingly that's a bit disrespectful to Hashem. What Hashem is jealous of the Egel? In fact, this very claim is something that a goy called Agrifas, a general Agrifas, says to Rabbi Gamliel on the pasuk Keil Kano, that Hashem is a god of. He thought it means jealousy. He says exactly these words. Usually a Chacham is only jealous of a Chacham, a Gibor of a Gibor, etc. And what does Rabbi Gamliel respond in that case? That Hashem is not jealous of the Avodah Zarah. Hashem is angry. The kin over there means an anger against those that serve Avodah Zarah. If that's the case, the question is, even if Rashi does want to say that Moshe Rabbeinu's claim was, as we said, this person being jealous, etc., but why does he have to say that it's a jealousy of against the Avodah Zarah? Why can't he say that it's something, a complaint against the Yidden? In fact, the Medrash says that when Moshe Rabbeinu said to Hashem, this pasuk, Lama Hashem yechra apcha ba'amecha, Moshe Rabbeinu says, why are you getting angry? The Yidden were just trying to find an assistant for you in the Egel. Hashem says to Moshe, what, are you making the same mistake as them? The Egel has no substance. So Moshe Rabbeinu says, so if it has no substance, why are you getting angry at the Yidden? Which this seems to be a more respectful way in a certain sense, and it's a claim against the Bnei, why are you getting angry at the Bnei Yisrael? It's not as if there's a jealousy of the Egel. Another thing that Rebbe says is in Pshutei Shel Mikra, we don't actually find any response to this idea of a Chacham usually only gets jealous against another Chacham, etc. But if that's the case, so why is Avodah Zarah such a big deal? Why does the Torah make such a big deal of Avodah Zarah if in fact there is no substance to them? The Rebbe also asks, what's these two examples of Chacham b'Chacham and Gibor b'Gibor, even though there is a pasuk that uses those terms, Al Yishalel Chacham b'Chachmasoi v'Gibor b'Gvurasoi. The Gemara in the above mentioned story of Ram Gamliel also mentions those terms. But in both of those sources, there's a third thing mentioned. Osher ba'oshrei. A rich person is also shouldn't be priding himself with his richness, and a rich person would only be jealous of another rich person. We know if Rashi will bring a double expression is because it's relevant to Pshutei Shel Mikra, not just because he's quoting a pasuk. So why does he mention these 2 points over here, and he doesn't mention Ashirus, the richness? So the Rebbe says what's really bothering Rashi is that the pasuk says, Lama Hashem yechra apcha, why are you getting angry? That is, that even after Hashem says, in other words, like this, once Hashem says, allow me, I'm going to destroy these people, seemingly Moshe Rabbeinu, the first thing should have said is, Lama, why Hashem would you destroy them? Then he could start discussing the anger. In fact, it goes the other way around. Why are you getting so angry? And then he discusses about destroying them. Why? What's going on over here? Says the Rebbe, the actual fact that there's a capital punishment for Chet Egel, that wasn't such a big question to Moshe Rabbeinu. We know from previously already there are certain Avedas that there's capital punishment for. And obviously the stricter the Aveda, the harsher the punishment. What Moshe Rabbeinu's wonder and question and claim over here was the extent of how harsh this punishment's about to be carried out. There must have been some special reason for it. Usually with every punishment there needs to be witnesses, there needs to be a warning, there needs to be an investigation of Beis Din. Here Hashem is saying, allow me, I'm going to destroy them right now, I'm going to destroy all of them. That means even the people that didn't serve the Egel, and it's going to be without Eidos, without Beis Din, absolute destruction immediately. Says that Rebbe, this can't be just because of the Aveira itself. There has to be because of what Hashem said, I'm going to let my anger burn over it. There's a special anger over here. And this is what Moshe Rabbeinu is saying. It sounds like it's not even against the people serving the Egel. It sounds like Hashem is upset and angry at the Egel itself. So Moshe Rabbeinu says, usually, a Chacham is only going to be jealous of another Chacham. Why are you getting so upset at this Egel? That means Moshe Rabbeinu is saying, I understand there's a harsh punishment. But from the fact that the punishment is coming over here without a Beis Din, immediately, all of the Yidden, that means it's completely not in accordance to the sin just of the people that serve the Egel, but there's an anger at the Egel itself, and this is what he's arguing, that the Egel doesn't have any substance. They should be able to have any sort of jealousy, and therefore want to destroy all the Yidden immediately. Says that, but now we understand the difference between this pasuk and back in the Aseres HaDibros. That is, over there in the Aseres HaDibros, Moshe Rabbeinu was saying that there isn't even any room to punish the Ovdei or Egel at all, because you never commanded them, you commanded me. But here when we're learning the story, and we see that what Moshe Rabbeinu is being bothered by is not so much the actual punishment for the Aveira, but it's more like, why are you getting so angry? It sounds like it's against the Avodah Zarah itself, and that's why he says, usually a Chacham only gets angry at a Chacham, a Gibor and a Gibor. Why Hashem would you care so much about this Avodah Zarah? Says the Rebbe, now we can understand the 2 examples that he gives of Chacham and Gibor. Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu, go down from the mountain, your people have done such a terrible sin. They made an Egel, and then the next words are, and they said, Eile Elokecha Yisrael, this is the God that took you out of Mitzrayim. We also see when Moshe Rabbeinu speaks to Hashem, he says, why are you getting so angry at the nation that you took out of Mitzrayim with great might and a strong hand? Why is that all relevant over here about that Hashem took them out of Mitzrayim? From here we see again that Hashem is angry about the fact that they're saying that this is the God that took you out of Mitzrayim. And that's why Moshe Rabbeinu uses these terms about being jealous, a Chacham against a Chacham and a Gibor and a Gibor, because it is these 2 details specifically that were needed to take the Bnei Yisrael out of Mitzrayim. The Chacham of how to do the miracles, of how to take them out of Mitzrayim, the might to take them out practically and to do the miracles practically, richness is not relevant over here. And this is why Moshe Rabbeinu is saying that usually a person would only be jealous of someone that could do something similar to him. But the truth is, of course, Hashem is the only one that could take the Yidden out of Mitzrayim with his wisdom and his might. So how could he be jealous of this Egel that doesn't have any of that? The Rebbe concludes with the Inyan al Pi Chassidus over here, and the Rebbe says, even though it's true that there's no room for jealousy against the Egel, but seemingly there could still be some sort of anger against the Yidden that serve the Egel, that they are making it into a Chacham and a Gibor. So why shouldn't there be at least that sort of kinna, jealousy or anger? But the Rebbe says that the truth of the matter is a Yid in his very essence can never be separated from Hashem. A Yid always knows that Hashem is the only true Metzius existence and that the Avodah Zarah is but only wood and stone that has absolutely no power. We know there's a concept of nichnas by ruach shtus, a person gets a spirit of foolishness, but it's really not him. A Yid can never separate from Hashem. And that's why Moshe Rabbeinu is saying, why would you get angry at these people that even the mitzad, the essence of the Yid themselves, even the Oivdei Egel, not only the Avodah Zarah is nothing, but even as far as the people that served it are concerned, as far as their essence, there's definitely no room. They would never think that the Avodah Zarah is a real Metzias, and therefore that caused that Hashem should actually forgive the Yidden.